Krishnaya Krishna Bhaktaya Tadbhaktaya Namo Namah. Namo Vishnu Padaya Radhikaya Priyatmane Srimad Bhakti Vedanta Narayana Iti Namine Sri Krishna Lila Katane Sudaksham Aurarya Madhurya Gunaisya Yuktam Varam Varenyam Purusham Mahantam Narayanam Tvam Sirasa Namami Sridandinam Bhakta Shiromanim Shri Krishna Pada Vyavrudaika Vrudi Chaitanya Lila Amrita Sara Saram Narayanam Tvam Satatam Prapadye Jai Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Sri Gaura Bhakta Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Let me offer millions of other senses. Gurudev, Rupani, Guru Namanishta Santanga Prabhupada Kamalanta Koti Dandavat. All present caste feature Vaishnava Tavat Dandavat Pranam. Vancha Kalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya Evacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha. Dandavat Pranam to everybody. Sorry for the delay. So, because Anil Prabhu has arrived in our mutt today, just about an hour ago, and he's going to stay for 3 days. Um, Tomorrow, Sunday program is there. Then I request if you have any questions, because most of you may not able to come on meeting here, but we will have a Google or something like that, and also question and answer. If you if you can make a list, the question that you want to ask him, then we will present that question and answers to him, and the answer he generally speaks in Hindi. It can be translated into English. That we can arrange it. Any question? Uh, he is very exalted personality, Mahavaishnava. And Gurudev, whenever he used to go to Jaipur for getting deities and all that there. So he was telling how he met. Everybody goes to Radha Govinda temple in Jaipur because that's the original deities of Rupa Goswami. When they established by Vajrana, great grandson of Krishna, but was refound by Rupa Goswami. And then from Vrindavan, they traveled to Jaipur, and many devotees, everybody visits Radha Govinda temple, Jaipur. So at that time, he was wearing tilak. was only one. He was studying there, engineering. Uh, so he used to wear a Gaudiya tilak. So Gurudev asked him, oh, uh, about him. Said, I'm disciple of Bhakti Daitama. Oh, yeah. Then he invited him to stay in his house. So whenever Gurudev visited Jaipur, he used to stay with him. And he says he was so simple and humble. Gurudev used to say, I will cook. Sabji banaunga. I will cook, sabji, vegetable. No, 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 it's for the service, Thakur service. So like that he recalls how simple Gurudev was and how so much relationship, very from a long, long time. So that time itself we used to chant 1 lakh because Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur, they are all saying, unless we chant 1 lakh, Krishna will not accept. You become real Lakshapati, Lakiya, very rich person by chanting 64 rounds. So, in that regard, he has one time when he was going, he saw a elderly person. And he said, I want to see your hand. Then Amrit Prabhu said, no, 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 I don't. Because usually in India, people who see the hand, they want some money like that. So he said, no, no, I don't have money. No, 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 I don't want money from you, but I just want to look at it. So very elderly person. Uh, then again, after saying, he said, I will look at it, don't worry. Then he started looking at his hand and then saying, like this, yeah, so many signs. You are not ordinary person. You have come from Golok Vrindavan. But don't tell this now till you reach certain age. Uh, 64 or 68, like that. So, 68. Till then, don't tell. Keep it to yourself. You're not of this world. So saying, he was explaining all this, and then Ajit Prabhu wanted to go, and then looks back, he is not there. So later on, he came to know that it was Hanuman. Came disguised. So he has met many, many times Hanuman. And 3 times Supreme Lord, darshan. Like that, many, many amazing pastimes with him. And what he's saying is, everybody wants happiness, but happiness being like this, you see, God has given, but we don't know how to open it. To open it, it is there. So why, how to open this tap? He describes the tap. It's like even a monkey. Suppose imagine a bottle. You have some sweet or something you have put there, right? Fruit or hand goes in and it takes it and then closes its fist. Ah, then it cannot come out. If you open it, then it goes, then he can easily come out. So, but we are not willing to give up. Yeah. So that means the Maya material world is offering so many so-called um, luxury and all that. If we let it go, in other words, disconnect from this material misery, then the happiness is there. But you have to let it go. ಅದೇ ಅದು ಕ್ಯಾನಿಕ್ ಅದೇ ರೂಮ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಅದ್ ಮತ್ತೆ ಕೇಳ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ ಎಲ್ಲಿದೆ ಅದು ಯಾರು ಇಟ್ಕೊಂಡು ಗೊತ್ತಾ ಗೊತ್ತಿಲ್ಲ ಅವ ಇವತ್ತಿತ್ತಲ್ಲ ಈಗ ತಾನೇ ಇತ್ತು ಹೌದಾ So, so we have to check where we are at. So for that, he gives, in other words, we are chanting, doing sadhan, where we are at. So for that, he lists about 33 lists. When we do bhajan, when we start chanting, seva, our mind naturally takes, it becomes happy or not. When we want to chant, our mind is going to get happy or not. Naturally, not forcing. This is the question. It naturally should take pleasure, take happiness, enthusiasm. Then second thing is listed, wherever there is sometimes disturbances, argument, this and that. At that time, my mind becomes steady or not, or get disturbed, like this. My mind remains steady or not. Mana pratishta. See, someone is glorifying. At that time, our mind, does it become unhappy or not? Ah, usually becomes happy. No, it should become unhappy. Oh no, unnecessary. How they will glorify. So these are the things measure. Then he says, whenever there is a difficulty come, our mind remains steady or not? Are we enthusiastic doing bhajan? Okay. Is my senses are in control or not? And in unhappy situations, am I remembering Supreme Lord? When we look at some living entities who are in difficulty, suffering, do we feel that unhappiness, difficulty within us or not? When we hear criticism of others, or when we hear glorification of ourselves, mind, we feel bad or not? When there is a discussion about Supreme Lord, hearing that, do we feel, no, I want to hear more, I want to hear more or not? Then Do we feel desire to do good to other living entities or not? When we meet a saintly people, do we feel happiness or not? When we get separated from the saintly people, separation, do we feel unhappy or not? When we sit at the lotus feet of the saintly people, do we feel, no, I would like to sit, listen more from it, lotus feet? We feel like that or not? Then uh, are we feeling hungry for doing bhajan, doing kirtan, doing chanting, you know, or not? From before we are doing. No, I want to do more chanting, do bhajan, more service. We are feeling like that or not? If there is a break in the chanting or bhajan, kirtan, if there is a break, some disturbance will come. We feel unhappiness or not? Does any time do we get the dreams about Lord, saintly people, temple, holy places or not? In dream, do we feel any kind of eight kind of manifestation or not? Do we feel in the night time to get up early, 2 to 3? Do our mind likes it or not? When we are chanting during bhajan, the mind is wants to run and start doing it, bhajan or not? Do we feel disgusted while hearing this mundane vartala, mundane discussion, all these things, chattering? uh, we feel disgusted or not? And the senses compared to beginning, now are they under control or not? Huh? Their speed, uh, becoming less or not? Their influence, their disturbances. No, I want to have this. Is it compared to before or now? Is it becoming less or not? All kind of activities that we do, are we giving to the Supreme Lord or not? Hmm? Have we realized the samsara, this world of world activity, family and all? Is it uh, do we have realized that it is a ocean of misery or not? This entire samsara, do we feel that it is a ocean of misery or not? Do we feel that death soon is going to come to me or not? Because we see death everywhere. You can see relatives, friends, younger to us, elderly, same age, that. But do we feel that same death is going to come to me also or not? Now, some devotees may be lower than us in a bhakti, right? Are we honoring them? Huh? Do we honor, feeling ourselves lower than him, honoring him or not? Considering Srila Gurudev very dear to the Lord, he is very dear to the Lord. Huh? Feeling like that, experiencing like that. Are we immersed in the service or not? Even do we feel even for enemy, for the enemy, to do service to him or not? Prunadapi Sunichana. Do we have that or not? Serving the enemy. Without feeling like today I was telling, uh, jealous, feeling jealousy and then hatred. These are two our enemies. Huh? Now, when we working or getting money or engaging for maintenance, um, without violating someone's adhikar, power, prestige level, hmm, without overstepping, are we getting in a right fashion or not? Are we satisfied with the limited possessions? No, just bare enough necessities, just necessities, bare enough. Are we satisfied in it or not? Whatever we are getting easily, in that are we feeling happiness or not? When we go to the temple, when we see the Thakur, Supreme Lord, are we taking darshan through the emotions, feeling or not? When we remembering Kirtan and all that, these 8 symptoms, mm, sweating, shaking, the hair standing, all this, do we feeling it or not? So these things, if what he's saying is, if they manifest, uh, then we get to know where our chanting is going, where we are at. So this is the form, the true form of surrender to the Supreme Lord. So he quotes Haridas Thakur. He said, when he was being tested, Muslims were attacking him. No. He said, Khanda Khanda Aya Deha Jaya Yadi Pran. Tabu Hami Vadene Na Chadi Harinam. He can make my body tukda tukda. No, pieces, pieces. Um, he can take my life forth, but still I will not give up Harinam, chanting Harinam, Harinam. So, how Haridas Thakur was firm. So, it shows that he was firmly in it. Haridas Thakur. Now he says, uh, the next life, are we going to get human life? There is no guarantee. So, so he is saying there is no guarantee. So he is discussing about this point. Whenever there is a Vaishnava aparad, you know, our mind does not want to chant, even in the dream. Forget while awakened. Even in dream, it doesn't want to chant. So because of this offense, we are moving around 84 lakh, 8,400,000 pieces, going up and down. Now the list is there. So many times human, so many times bird, like that. Not one time. We don't know how many times in each species we have fallen. Because we don't know in the human form of life, we have killed so many living entities. Yeah, and those living entities whom we have killed, we have to be born in that. And then the living entities have a different kinds of expectation of life. Humans, maximum 120 years in this age, less and less. Birds, little, much less. Trees, much longer. And there are some bacteria even less, even seconds, milliseconds. They just take birth and then duration of life is different. From 1 day to 5,000 years, 10,000 years can happen, their duration. When in these living entities, the human, when he takes birth, he kills other living entities. And he does not think that he has to be born in them and get killed. So he's telling Bhaktidaita Madhav Maharaj, he's, he says he's opening all the sadhakas who are the path of sadhakas, practicing, practitioners. And he's telling, now you understand. Now take shelter of Harinam. Sri Harinam, take shelter. Every day do 1 lakh Nam. And it is most essential. That too by loudly. And then hear. Then we loudly say and then hear. Without hearing, the his influence will not be there. He has said, all benefits accrue to one who chants the holy name, but there is one thing we must bear in mind. If you are going to chant, you must first listen. Through the worship of holy name, the soul can attain all perfection. Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur. All benefits accrue to one who chants the holy name, but there is one thing, he says, you must bear in mind. If you are going to chant, you must first listen. Through the worship of holy name, the soul can attain all perfection. So we have to hear. Now in this material world, without hearing, many things will not happen. They will just break down. Then same way, if you are not hearing Bhagwan's name, how it will, how we can feel the benefit of that effect. राम नाम की औषधि जो श्रद्धा से खाए कोई रोग आवे नहीं महारोग मिट जाए. In Ramayana. Rama Nama ki aushadhi. So Rama Nam is the medicine. One who with faith takes that medicine, there cannot be any disease will not come. And even big disease also will go away. The age of Kali, only through Harina you will get to Vaikuntha. There is no other path. There is no need of other path. To attain Lord, so easy, so simple. But unfortunately, human beings are not taking Harina and is keep on sleeping. When the death comes, then is feeling misery, feeling paschata, remorse, remorsing. Oh, I lost it, opportunity, feeling bad about it. So, Supreme Lord is there in all the living entities. So, that knowledge, a good sadhu can impart. Only he can show the path. That's why Shastra is telling. That's why it's telling. Even a fraction of a second, when you do sadhu sangha, the living entity's life direction changes. But that association is attained only by Sukritishali, one who has pious merits. huh? Uh, one who knowingly or unknowingly, uh, this life before the previous life, he has served the sadhu, he has done some service to sadhu. Without service to sadhu, without service to sadhu, uh, getting good satsang, it is impossible. Sometimes human being hates sadhu, you know, and they look at his faults in him, and they do offenses. The fruit of that is he is going to fall down. Then like that he is going down, down, down. Then such a human is 8 lakh, 8,400,000 different species is going down. To estimate how many times, how long is very, very difficult. And if there is a path, to escape, to show path from all this suffering, if there is any any way to escape all this suffering from all these different units, so many. That is Sri Harinam. That's why chant Harinam, chant Sri Harinam, then chant Harinam and hear through your ears. This happens only in age of Kali. That's why we should chant 1 lakh now. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Then we spell it out from the mouth, and then we hear through the ear. Then whatever sin has happened, whatever is happening now, they all become burnt ashes. They become ashes, burnt. Harinam, the chanting, is like a very powerful fire, and all this it will burn and make it bhasma, rock, ashes. It turns into ash. Harinam is like a fire. What is being burned is whatever the sins has happened and being done by now, all will be burnt. Whenever all this sin completely end, then our mind slowly, it goes away from the samsara. Uh, then our mind will easily fall at the lotus feet of the Lord. When our mind gets immersed in the holy name, then we attain, we get this ashta, these 8 form of transformations. And then one type of uh, intoxication, appears in our inner, in our antakara, in our heart. you Intoxication of chanting the name, right? So then mind becomes very peaceful. Then there is happiness in the heart, the waves of happiness in the heart. Now, if there is an offense that has happened, any Vaishnavas, lotus feet, or we have found, mentality of finding fault in them, then whatever we are chanting and all that, then it goes, becomes like a mud. That's why careful, being careful is very, very important. Being careful. Well, so we have to save from this offense. How to do that? We should not see guna dosh in anyone, qualities, bad qualities in anyone. Don't look at it, don't hear, and be immersed in the holy name. Then only the human life becomes successful. So, like this, then we become free from going into these different species of life. Then attain Supreme Lord's lotus feet. So, sorry. ಏನಪ್ಪ ಮೇಲೆ ನೀವು ಹೌದಾ ಈಗ ಅಗ್ನಿಹೋತ್ರ ಹೋಗ್ತಾ ಇದೆ ನೋಡ್ಕೊಂಬನ್ನಿ ಹೌದಾ ಆಯ್ತು ಹೌದಾಯ್ತಾ ಆಯ್ತು ನಾಳೆನು ಬನ್ನಿ ಹಾ So, the path of love towards Krishna um, is like a burning thing. In that path, we have to, when there is a dust or anything, what we do? We blow the air and then make a lake, right? Or sweep like that. So we have to keep doing that. Suppose if there is even a little bit carelessness, uh, then we might get burned. Uh, and if we are careless, some thorn can hit us, get hurt someday. So that's why we have to think. Another thing is, our next life is going to be taken birth in this India or not? Bharatavarsha. Then further in this age of Kali. Only through Harinam, Supreme Lord can be attained. We get that chance or not. And also, are we going to get such a satsang, or not? You know, three things. Taking birth in India, human, from, especially in this age of Kali, and then satsang, now the body is little healthy, and we can do Harinam. And in future, whether our body remains healthy or not, doubtful. Uh, Now we can think about it. We have some time. We are very fortunate to get this time. So, for millions of lives, good deeds, okay, pious activities, we have obtained this life, this human form of life. Not very difficult. It is Sudurlam, most difficult to attain human form of life. We have attained this so much difficulty. That's why we should not miss this opportunity. We should not waste it unnecessarily. Do not miss it. Human form of life is just only for chanting, doing service. Don't waste it. Don't waste it. Because with so much difficulty we have attained this human form of life. That's why chant. As long as we have life force, chant, chant. Whatever time is left over now in our life, you know, starting Harinam is the good news. It's the most auspicious path. Our Gurudev, again and again, is convincing us about it. Even now is telling this. If we understand this, it is an auspicious path. Now we have a healthy body. Later on, we can get disease. Then Harinam is going to happen or not. We don't know. That's why right now, getting into chanting is very, very important. Through Harinam, all the difficulties, everything will go away. Saving from the offenses towards Vaishnava, we have to chant. Then everything will happen properly. This age of Kali, this age is Kali Maharaj. His age. In this age, uh, all the activities are happening to machines. Um, and the wealth is also running, and everybody wants to be happy, acquire more wealth, dollar, whatever uh, different currencies, uh, acquire more and more. So, for the sake of getting money, everything is happening. But we have to remember where Lakshmi, she is going alone, and Lakshmi is going alone, there Vishnu will not be there, will not come. Where Vishnu's worship of Vishnu is going, then there Lakshmi by herself she comes there. Where Lakshmi is staying alone, there is not good things. Huh? And Lakshmi's vehicle is Ullu. Is like a bird, some kind of bird. Huh? And the activity of that bird is bringing unhappiness. So that's why Lakshmi, she one word only, Lakshmi makes her that bird, most unhappy person. But the Vishnu's Vishnu carrier is Garud, and he brings Shubhamati, he brings happiness, brings higher consciousness, auspicious consciousness. Then people who have become mad to acquire wealth, uh, they will be disturbed. Now, to attain wealth is giving an example. It's happening. People mix uh, something like this. Grocery, right? Grocery. Huh? Uh, they mix something. Uh, and they don't care whether eating that people die or not. Duplicate these groceries. Huh? Uh, but their desire is to make more money. He is forgetting that one day the poison that is making others to eat, it is going to come back to him and it will destroy him. Even though the eyes are open, he has become blind to it. And only for few, wrong happiness, uh, to show, the wealth, to become, wrong happiness, and he is fallen into doing very bad things. The consequence of this is no one can save him. And he will, uh, later on he will understand. That's why our Gurudev, again and again, is telling us, get up, get up. He's convincing us. Uh, Not from today, right now. Immediately start doing arena. Take shelter of the Supreme Lord. Uh, that Dayalu, most ocean of mercy, Supreme Lord, guarantee he will forget, he'll forgive us. Uh, Forgive us. And he will save us from all that unhappiness. Otherwise, we have to go through and will not be able to tolerate it. So Srila Gurudev very boldly telling, uh, in this life, we should be able to attain Supreme Lord and then stay away from falling into this 8,400,000 types of different species, which are all very suffering. And each species of life, as we are telling before, different space, duration of life. Some species 1 day, some species thousands of years. So even if imagine if you have to spend 1 year in each one of these species, huh? So 8,400,000, year suffering. Huh? This is only purification. Hmm? Other than this, other than this, other than this, we kill so many living entities, and then we give so much difficulty to other living entities, uh, and then we have to exchange that. So think about it. Jai Jai Gaur Harti ki Jai Gaur Harti ki Jai. गौरा बोलिए जाओ का जीवन कितना चाहिए बारा गौरा 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 करे ची सारा गौरा वेदे रे सारा गौरा करीबे न पारा गौरा गौरा साई गौर हरि बोल हरि बोल हरि बोल. So that's why there is no limit to this suffering. In Bhagavad Gita, Krishna has told this samsara. This samsara, you understand? Materialistic life is dukkhalaya, house of suffering. And this is world is temporary. Huh? Going to be destroyed. We have take birth, become old, then death. That's what is going on. From top to bottom. It is house of suffering, where birth, death, going. Hey Kunti Putra, son of Kunti, one who attains my dham, he will not take birth again. Abrahma bhuvanaloka punaravartino Arjuna. Mam upetya tu kaunteya punarjanmana vidyate. Abrahma bhuvanaloka, from Brahma's loka. Punaravartini, going up and down. One who attains me will not take birth again. So this world is filled with suffering, and only path is for the human. You have to attain human form of life. And then in that form of life, you have to do Harinam. You have to take shelter of Harinam. Only through Harinam, uh, it can bestow us highest happiness in this age of Kali. Other than this, there is no other path. Harirnama, Harirnama, Harirnama eva kevalam. Kalam nastaiva gatiranyata. Hmm? Only through Harinam one can attain Supreme Lord. Other than this, there is no path, no path. 3 times repeated. Nastaiva, Nastaiva, Nastaiva. There is no other path, there is no other. That's why uh, over again and again, Maha Mantra. Uh, we have to do Kirtan or Japa. Uh, we are being prayed for that. In this Maha Mantra, to take this Maha Mantra, there is no rules and regulations. We can, as you get up, as you sitting, when you are walking, running, whenever it is, whatever way you like, we have to keep chanting. Like this, we have to practice. So, as we practicing like that, even at the time of death, it can appear on our tongue. At the last time, when Lord's name is coming out of our mouth, um, then all the unhappiness forever, it will end. Then the human being will enter the ocean of happiness, right? Where there is no even a shadow of suffering. And if you, at the time of death, if you remember the samsara, huh, again we have to come back to this samsara. So, if we, at the last huh, time of death, huh, at the end, if we remember Supreme Lord, we attain Lord. Huh? This is Sunishchay. This has been determined, very powerful. Because Sri Krishna says, Yam yam vapi smaran bhava. Yam yam vapi smaran bhavam. Tyajati ante kalevaram. Tham tamai veti kaunteya sada tad bhava bhavitaha. A son of Kunti, when we are giving up this body, the human form of life, whatever bhava, feeling, he remembers, he attains to that bhava, guarantee. So at the end of our life, uh, holy name comes out of our mouth. That's why we have to chant Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. So chanting this is highest auspicious thing, most auspicious thing. So Supreme Lord, for all the living entities, He has made the body of all the living entities uh, Dharmashala. Uh, all the living entities are the children of the Supreme Lord. And all the living entities, form is different. Some are big, some are width, high, some are round, some are small, like that. The body of snake is very long, then the kachwe is round, the elephant is big. Uh, even then this material body is will be get destroyed. And the human being's body, the makeup, the way, the shape is just like Bhagavan. But it is made out of these five Maha elements, big elements, earth, water, fire, air, ether. So in this, Jiva and Atma, both are together. And the Jiva is Ajnana Pradhan. He is, full of Ajnana, illusion. And Atma is Jnana, knowledge. Uh, Jiva, living entity, is immersed in the Maya. That's why there is a bandhan, he is imprisoned. Atma is Chinmaya, Divya Shakti. Atma is not immersed, eternally liberated. So Supreme Lord is telling, hey, human being, I given you intelligence. All these 8,400,000 different yonis, who are all my children. You take care of them. You protect them. And all those living entities see me. If you don't do that, if you give unhappiness, difficulty to them, then you will never get released. You will never become happy, peaceful. Our living entity as duration of life has been already determined. And if you kill that before that is get completed, if you end that life, now different living entities have prescribed their duration of life. At the end, there is no fault in them at the end. But in the human form of life, before the end of that duration of life, if he kills it, destroys it, that sin he has to take up. Like unlimited, these sinful humans, they are doing their life. So that's why there is no end to their suffering. When human sits on the lap of the Supreme Lord, uh, even after a long time, uh, if a person like that, sinful person, will not attain Supreme Lord. Because no one has told him how to get to the Supreme Lord. You know, the right path and good sadhu, one who loves Supreme Lord, he can only tell us. So our Gurudev is giving 100% guarantee. 100% guarantee. One who chants 64 rounds every day, uh, with chanting, Ucharana Purva, uh, hearing, then at that time Supreme Lord will come himself to take him at the time of death. So you have to complete your round. When you're walking, running, eating, drinking, sleeping, wake up, without even mala, keep on doing arina. So such a holy person, holy devotee in the Lord's holy place, they welcome him. Great welcome party. Lord, according to his taste, he gives him his service. And forever he'll be very happy. He will be immersed in the happiness. So, one Uttam Vaishnava, yes, by looking at him, having darshan, automatically Krishna name comes out. Um, um, and Krishna's devotion comes there. That is Uttama Vaishnava. Harinam Chintamani. One whose mouth non-stop, Krishna's name is coming, hearing, is highest Vaishnava. And that Vaishnava is the storehouse of all great qualities. And Anuruddha Prabhu is telling one time, he asked his guru, Bhaktivedanta Madhava Maharaj, how to do chanting. And he's answering. How he is telling? When we are doing satsang or someone we are discussing, talking, no. Same way, we hear Harinam. By hearing only, something, it goes into our heart. It makes impression in our heart. Then that word from heart goes into the intelligence. Then intelligence is making a deciding. When it decides, then it will come upon this mundane body, this gross body, indriyas, gross body, senses. And the senses, it starts doing that. Through senses, when we do that, that activity becomes fruitful. So, you understand the Harinam also like that. So, he's telling the process when we are discussing some mundane activity. We are in a meeting, for example. What happens? They are meeting, one is talking. Are we not listening it or not? If we don't listen, what? Suppose he gives an instruction, please do this, manager. If you're not listening to that, then how you will do it? You go and ask him, sir, I didn't hear what you are saying. You see, we say, I didn't hear what you are saying. Did we say it or not? Or wrongly heard or because our mind was not in it. We didn't hear. Our mind was something else. So much disturbance will happen. Right? So same way when we hear, it goes into our heart. From there, makes an impression on the heart. And from there it goes to intelligence. Then the intelligence will make a decision what to do. Then it will assign to the senses of this gross body. Then this in the Indriyas, they start doing the thing. So that is that. But we did not hear, then it did not go to the mind, and then it will not act. See? So that's why it says we have to hear from the Gurudev. It has to sit in our heart. Then it goes to intelligence. Then Buddhi will decide. By chanting, our suffering will reduce and happiness will take birth. Then the one who is chanter will take the hand, which is also Indriya, right? Working sense. Then through tongue, you will start chanting. Mind, it will catch it. then here we will start listening to it. But if the mind is not focused, we cannot hear uh, because there's no happiness in it. But slowly, then we get happiness. Then mind will not go anywhere. It will have a taste in the Naam. Slowly, practice. You know? We have to practice. That's why Arjuna, Lord is telling Arjuna, you practice, constant practice, detachment. Huh? If we not engage our mind, then Sukruti, pious activity, love will not happen. That's Sukruti, pious activity in the next life. We will attain Sri Guru, Sadguru. So he says he got one letter that there was a poem. So there the description of Krishna's byword pastime, Devi. Oh, so the devotee has written it. Oh, one who thinks that description is not qualified, then becomes a offense. Oh, so Srila Gurudev through Mala is making connection, the living entity with the Lord. Like he's giving an example at the time of marriage, the the Brahmana, one who does the ceremony. Uh, what he does is, husband and wife, he makes a bind, like a knot. Huh? Uh, then she engaged in the service of the husband. Same way, Sri Gurudev, through Mala, he makes a knot with the Supreme Lord. So that entire life we keep serving the Supreme Lord. So we keep remembering the name by the mercy of the Supreme Lord, Gurudev's mercy, without any cause, causeless mercy of Gurudev, Jivatma. Uh, he is saving us from the Maya by making us, uh, giving us Supreme Lord's feet. uh, uh, and Bhagavad Rupi Pati. Supreme Lord, Paramatma. Now we are engaging this service. So, so there is so much greatness in the mala. That is not ordinary object. So we have to keep it very carefully. On that we have to do japa. So we have to be careful about the japa mala. That's why we have to put it on the neck always. So he is telling about the some important parts of mala. When we start doing chanting, when we take the mala, we have to paying, like this, lowering our head. So you are doing pranam to the mala. Then after that we put to our heart, like hugging, right? Then Tulsi mala, the lotus feet. This is like lotus feet of mala, chimba, Mm. So if you keep doing like that, then the Sumeru, which is great, this part is like Sumeru. It's come to our hand. That is the Sumeru, Radha and Krishna, Guru Parampara. The top part comes to our hand automatically. We don't have to search for that. The mala is not mundane object, lifeless, not like a lifeless object. This is something transcendental, very dear to the Supreme Lord. Without Tulsi, no object is accepted by the Supreme Lord. That's why I use the Tulsi Mala. When we offer Bhoga, we offer Tulsi, is not. So same way when you're chanting, we are touching Tulsi. Of course, you might say, what about other times? It's a practice. It's no haram. Sometimes when you're cutting sabji and all that, you're engaging. Then chanting, that is also counted. But some mala we have to do. Till mala completed, 108. One mala. Again, we pay obeisances to Mala. Again, we start doing second one. Tulsi Mala, is like a garland, huh, to our neck. Uh, Hare Krishna. Huh? ಆಗೋಯ್ತಾ ಏನು? ಹೌದಾ? ಹ್ಮ್. ನೋಡಪ್ಪ ಇದು. So it's like, suppose, again example. Suppose if there's a golden or diamond mala. Some people wear golden or diamond. Uh, will they remove it? They are wearing that all the time, is it? Same way, Tulsi mala, huh, you have to keep it all the time. So, then we have to remember when we are doing chanting. We cannot pay obeisances to any Vaishnava Jana. So we can say Hare Krishna, Radha Krishna, Jai Sri Ram. Okay. We can do pranam. When we are taking mala in the hand, huh, uh, mala gets pranam. Huh? That is anuchit. Mala, because the mala is the Gurudev's Ashirvad, blessing. So, in the front of Supreme Lord, we can pay obeisance to Sri Gurudev. At that time, keeping the mala far back. In the front of Bhagavan, Gurudev, we can do pranam. So, the Gurudev does not like that. No. That's why we should not give difficulty to Gurudev. So, going away from Bhagavan on his side, paying obeisance is very auspicious. But if you don't pay obeisance to Gurudev, it becomes aparad. So, like that, you have to follow. When we are chanting on the mala, we can, some Vaishnava or satsang, we can do talk, but we cannot discuss about the samsara. If we do, then it becomes offense. If there is no Vaishnava there, you can tell Jai Sri Krishna. Uh, there is no Vaishnava there. Some discussion. Then you say Jai Sri Krishna. Uh, then also from him we should not discuss the mundane materialistic discussion. When we are doing parikrama, dham, we want to go for nature call. Then nature call, you have to complete the mala, or we cannot, then we give the mala at a clean place. Then we have to take nature call. If it is possible, we can keep some water in a bottle. Then after nature call, wash your hand, wash your face. Then you can start doing japa. If the mala is, in between, not completed, then that should not be counted. Then again we have to start. Then that incomplete mala should not be counted. At the time of taking prasadam, and you have to keep mala in such a way, the hand will not touch it with taking prasadam. Um, Sometimes it may be difficult, difficult situation. Uh, Forgetting the mala. Uh, so we have to be very careful in those situations. Uh, Then the bag becomes little dirty. You have to wash it on certain day. Mala, you have to dry it on a clean place. And then we have to be careful about the monkeys taking it away. And if the mala gets not found or lost, big offense will happen. Some people, wherever it is, place of eating and chair and table, wherever you keep, then it becomes an offense. It's like, suppose a valuable object, wealth, something. How we keep it? Very carefully, is it not? Someplace, safe place. Same way, this mala, we have to take care. It's the most valuable thing. Once that mala is given, if it is lost, then it's very difficult to get it again. Then there will be difficulty in the bhajan. So same way, like our life force is important, same way, the mala that is given by Guru, we have to think that it is more valuable than our life. If we give honor to mala like that, then the seriousness will come in our bhajan. Otherwise, it become brittle. Our mind will not into bhajan. Then, at the time of sleeping, we have to pay obeisances to mala. Then, when we get up in the Brahma Muhurta, we pay obeisances to mala again. Ishta. Then, seriousness will come. After paying obeisances, uh, after finishing from the nature call, washing hand, feet, and then face. Again, we pay obeisances to mala. Then, taking in the hand, we start chanting. Doing like that, our mind will get immersed in it. Even if a person does not know, if we glorify the mala, greatness of mala, uh, mind will get immersed in his mind. That is what it is, such good satsang, through which bhakti takes birth. Whatever has been told about mala, the one who's chanter should not think that he avoids the problem. Then his mind will not into arena. In the words of samsara, no, we don't see inconvenience in it. But if we forget that uh, through which our auspicious can happen, and which is auspicious for us, if we think it is going to put us in difficulty, then that is our stupidity. No. Uh, so, just like Jivatma, keeps his mind always. But it knows that it is somebody outsider. Uh, he belong to the Supreme Lord. Same way. Uh, Same way, the devotee thinking mala should be with him all the time. Given by Sri Gurudev. The one mala given to us through Gurudev, it can save us from the all suffering. It is a path for all auspiciousness. So we have to take care, huh? More than our life. So in reality, the Gurudev, huh, doing great mercy upon us. He has given us this mala, this to defeat the Maya. And to defeat Maya, it is very powerful weapon Gurudev has given. So keeping this weapon far away, then Maya can attack us anytime. And Maya is our biggest enemy. And the enemy, as soon as he get a chance, it will attack. Mm. So this mala given by Gurudev, this Maya cannot defeat us. The Gurudev, in the form of mala, he has given us amazing weapon. And in that Harinam, incomparable you know, power is there. There is no force in the entire Brahmanda. It can defeat that power. Even one who has created this Brahmanda, even the Supreme Lord, in front of that name, he becomes, soft. Uh, so the mala that is given to Guru and the practitioner through counting, hearing through hear, uh, telling, uh, telling. Uh, and in his ear, he developed this viraha agni, fire of separation. Gets, you know, fire of separation starts. Uh, Ignited. Then Bhagwan becomes uh, Lord feels it and he has to come. He is obliged to come. So one who has attained this powerful weapon is most fortunate. Mhm. So Supreme Lord, from the Mother Yashoda, you know, he, he shakes, he cries, and he becomes fearful. And because of fear, he starts passes urine. uh, that is his lila, his pastime. Uh, so for his devotee, what he cannot do. Um, so this is this mala, it's so powerful. It can. take us to that Supreme Lord pastime. Mm. So in this samsara, there is uncountable living entity. In that human form, life is very limited. Very, like one time I was telling, how many the small insects to the weight of human being, right? Ah, billions. Like that, they are living entities, weight of all the humans in this whole world. But still, among these so many humans, how many who are fortunate, who have what Gurudev has given the mala, this one who has this powerful weapon which can destroy this, defeat this Maya. And in this very life, you know, it can get away from the birth and death cycle. And it can take us to Golok Vrindavan. So these days, some people feel not happy with putting the mala around their neck. So they put it in the purse or bag. Huh? This is offense. That's why the Harinam, there is no taste in the bhajan. There is no faith in it. But how is going to pass, cross over this Bhavasagar without faith, uh, Shraddha and Vishwas? We get lost. Where the there is no Tulsi Mala, there's other, Samman, uh, giving due reverence. How there the taste for Harinam cannot happen. And without taste for Harinam, nothing will happen. Uh, so that's why devotees always have this mala. Very important. Now, that takes some time. Um, that's why uh, the prayer is there. Oh Hari, I'm filled with so much ocean of offenses in this very difficult, very fearful samsara. This samsara is like a very fearful ocean. I'm going up and down, and I have no shelter. So I'm taking shelter, and we have unlimited great qualities. Among that is the mercy. Through that quality, please accept me as your servant. Hmm? So it's praying like that. So we will continue um, next. How Harinam can be remembered. It made part of internal process. So we grateful to Anirudh Prabhu and Mr. Tomorrow in the program, and we will do needful things. Vancha kalpatarubhyascha kripa sindhubhya eva cha patitanam pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo namo namaha. All glories to the holy name, all glories to Harinam, all glories to Harinam, Harinama eva kevalam, kalau nastaiva, nastaiva gatiram. Nama Chintamani, Krishna Chaitanya Rasa Vigraha, Purna Shuddho Nityam Nama Prabhutasya Murtera Peti Priyam Ishodhitam Skopatam Sarasam Tastamahani Nama Sankirtanam Yasya Sarva Papa Pranashanam Pranama Dukkha Shamanasam Namam Harim Param Jaya Harinam Jaya Harinam Ki
गुरुदेव के
Krishna 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 Hare Ram Hare Ram 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 Hare Dandavat Pranam
धन्यवाद प्रणाम